We have the Indian Grandmaster Praggnanandhaa taking on Alireza Firouzja at the 7th round of the Norway Chess 2026. Praggnanandhaa playing with the white pieces. Firouzja was leading the tournament until round 6, but then he lost against Magnus Carlsen. And now, let's see how Praggnanandhaa fares. He opens the game with pawn to e4. And Alireza goes pawn to e5. A very solid move. That's the same opening that he played against Magnus. Let's see if Pragg also repeats the same. Magnus had gone for the Rui Lopez. And will Pragg go bishop b5 as well? No, Pragg goes for the Italian here. Bishop to c4. And we have knight f6 attacking the pawn. d3 makes sense. And now bishop c5, the main move in the position. And Pragg goes a3. Maybe lesser played because a4 is more common, c3 is played, there's castles, all these moves. He goes a6. I think one of the things if Pragg has seen from the Carlsen versus Firouzja game is that sometimes Alireza makes not so good positional decisions. And here bishop e3. And Firouzja goes for d6. So he's ready to take on doubled pawns. Pragg could have also taken doubled pawns and gotten an open f file. But here bishop c5 is what Alireza is provoking Pragg to do. Pragg does not take it. He goes knight d2. And black castles. And white goes queen to e2, defending the bishop. I don't think he's preparing for long castles in any way. Rook e8. And now Pragg, who seems to be still in his preparation, but now for the first time he thinks for 13 minutes, plays bishop to a2. Very simple chess. I think nothing much is happening here. I guess bishop e6 is a very natural move. And that's exactly what Alireza plays, bishop to e6. And now bishop takes, rook takes. Pragg does go for it, bishop takes e6. And Firouzja brings with him some bottle of water. And queen takes, he takes rook takes e6. And Pragg plays bishop takes c5, d takes c5. White castles. And black plays h6. This actually reminds me a bit of the Sicilian Rosolimo, where black has double pawns, e4, c5, and then the bishop goes to b5 and takes on c6. Pragg goes a4, and a decent idea is rook b8 with the idea of b5, just gaining space. Alireza goes for a very dubious move, a5. And why is this dubious? Because this gives away the c4 square to the white knight, which Pragg calmly puts his knight on. It's difficult to now push this knight away. And white's position improves drastically. Queen d7. And now, slowly and steadily, Pragg can hope for this f4 breakthrough. I mean, it will happen slowly. He goes g3. This is a very nice, pleasant position that Pragg has. Alireza goes b6. And for black to have a plan is difficult. Like, it might seem like knight d4 is an improvement of his position, but not really. For example, if you go knight d4, I simply take it and then go for f4, and this helped white, actually. So Alireza goes rook d8. He keeps an eye on the d3 pawn so that c3 is not easily possible. Pragg goes b3 to defend a4 so that his rook can now move out. One plan that I can foresee is rook d1 and c3 here, taking away the d4 square, rook e7. Another plan is knight e3 to knight f5. Knight h4 to knight f5 also exists. He gets rook a e1. Okay, I'm a bit surprised with this rook move to e1. I had expected it to be on d1. Queen goes to e6. And let's see how Pragg continues. Knight h4 seems logical. Yes, he plays it. Knight is coming to f5. But black's knight is going to jump into d4. That's the plan. He gets in knight to d4. And now queen to d1. Seems very logical. And f4 is the plan that's shaping up now. Or maybe knight e3 to knight f5. Rook d7 played. And here Pragg has to be careful. Like, imagine a move like f4. Suddenly takes. And then you have some knight c2 and rook d3 business. Also g5 is coming in. So have to be careful. He goes knight e3. Firouzja pushes his pawn to c6. Now c3 would trap the knight, but b3 is hanging for the time being. So it's not easy. So he goes knight f3 back. And now Pragg could think about taking and playing knight f5. So Firouzja starts playing on the queen side. He plays pawn to b5. He gains space. And Pragg plays knight to d2. So if you take on a4, I go ba, and then my knight settles on the c4 square. So queen e7 played by Alireza. because now that b3 was defended, c3 became a real threat to trap the knight. Queen a1 played. Pragg playing this very coolly, calmly. G6. He has 51 minutes. Alireza down to 19 minutes. So time is going to become a factor, I believe. AB. He takes, is the a5 pawn hanging really? I am not sure, because maybe black has some plans of rook a7, rook a2 on his mind. So if queen takes a5, that's what Pragg does. Now rook a7, I believe. That's what Alireza wants to do. He didn't want to defend the pawn, so he wants counterplay. He goes rook a5. Queen comes back to c3. Queen is not getting trapped, but rook a2 is a powerful move. Yes, he gets the rook in. Now c2 under pressure. Knight goes back to f3. Well, you're not really threatening to take because cd actually attacks both the pieces. And b4. Alireza taking away some space from the queen. If you go queen d2, there's knight takes b3. So queen c4 has to be played. And black has good compensation for the missing pawn. His rook is active. And now knight takes f3 taken. Okay, you have to bring your king out. King takes f3. And queen a7 with the idea of rook d. I mean, you could go rook d4 directly. Yes, he plays rook to d4. The queen now has the b5 square to go to. Somehow the knight is defending the c2 pawn. So it's not so bad. Queen a7. Alireza down to 4 minutes. Pragg still has 37 minutes. The king goes back to g2. And now rook to d8. Okay, he goes f4. Alireza has to be careful. Now Pragg has started his play, although the second rank has gotten a bit weak. He goes back rook a5. The queen comes into c6. By the way, he couldn't have gone to c4, right? Because rook d4 traps the queen. So queen c6, rook a6. And now this beautiful move, rook a1, was missed by Alireza, I believe. Because he thought it's a draw. And queen takes f6. Fantastic chess by Praggnanandhaa. Imagine that here you didn't play rook a1. This was already ending in a draw. But rook a1 was such a beautiful exchange sacrifice. Queen takes f6 and now rook f8. Well, the d8 rook was hanging, so there was no time to take on f1. Now rook f2, keeping the rooks on the board. Brilliant chess here by Praggnanandhaa. And now he takes with the queen, attacks the h6 pawn. h5 played very quickly by Alireza. He had 4 seconds on the clock. Can we go? Yeah, he goes knight d5. Knight f6, queen h6. Pawn to f5. Now this is too weakening. Queen g5. And Pragg goes queen e5. It's a small miss because queen g7 can be used to defend. And Alireza finds it. Will Pragg miss this chance to win the game? Queen e6, king h7. He plays queen f7 and now queen d6. Excellent chess. Pragg also down to 5 minutes on the clock. So queen g7 maybe. He goes queen g7. Good move, but now e takes f5 and knight e7 and f5 is hanging. Takes. But if you play knight e7 here, king h7. So he goes rook e2, getting the open file. Doesn't want the f5 pawn. f4 played, but now knight takes f4. And Pragg is like, Alireza, your king is weak. I've gotten 2 pawns and a knight. My queen is active, rook is active. You're lost. In comes a check. Rook e4, blocking the check with a rook. Rook a6 with 1 second on the hand. Queen takes c5. Another pawn bites the dust. Rook c8. Attacking here. Pragg goes queen f5. He's ready to give up a pawn with a check. Rook takes c2. But king comes to h3. No more checks here. And rook is ready to rock here. Queen f7. And now the only move, queen g5 check, is very, very good. And it should do the trick. Because now rook e7 is a threat. So king f8 and queen d8 check. Followed by rook e7. And that is game over. Alireza resigns. Praggnanandhaa plays an incredible game today. First shows his patience, wins a pawn, defends, and then finds this very nice exchange sacrifice with rook a1. And I think this was pure class by Praggnanandhaa, showing why he is really top-notch player. And Alireza faces his second loss in a row. Pragg moves up the leaderboard, another 1 or 2 wins, and he can be fighting for the top spot.
Yeah, I think it kind of went well. I don't know if I missed something easier. When I played, somewhere around 40, I was basically playing first time. But I couldn't really see a direct way. So that's why I was kind of trying to play fast, trying to keep the threads. Yeah, I missed f5. I could have probably done it easier, but yeah, I got it done. After last 2 games, I think I was just making sure that I don't get to seconds because I was just making so many mistakes there.
You played this rook to a1, very nice tactic, and then get the knight on f6. Have you felt that Alireza missed that on the board?
Yeah, I think he did miss until I played f4. He probably didn't see it because I was surprised with f4. But I'd seen it, but I wasn't sure. Like, I was trying to see if there was any better way to do it, but I didn't see it. I had to go for it. It looks really nice, but Yeah, I was looking for something forcing, but maybe it's just not there.
Pragg, you mentioned that you try to play faster. Is there any special hint or advice that you can give for the rest of us to play fast, how to play fast?
If there was something, I could have probably scored 2 more points. No, just close your eyes and make moves. That's what I was trying to do today. I mean, even then, like I kind of got to like 2 minutes. So I think this time we'll just have to keep the time.
Well, have a rest of the nice day.
Pragg, nice comeback win today, and also you had a great time management today. How does it feel to make a comeback?
Yeah, it feels good. I think the game quality was also okay. I mean, maybe towards the end I could have probably done it easier. I sort of missed. No, I didn't miss F5, but I missed at queen e5, queen g7, just defense a1. So that was kind of annoying, but I think it's still difficult for him with this time. So yeah, I think overall it was a good game.
In such a well-known position, knight b d2 still is like a new move. At what point was your preparation today?
My prep kind of stopped with b3. I just couldn't remember like exact details. There were some plans and so on. I could remember. That's basically it.
What point was Alireza's final mistake? Do you fight h5? Was his final mistake?
Probably getting low on time was a kind of mistake because it was still not clear. Because even after I sacked the exchange, I thought it was possible to defend accurately, but yeah, it's practically difficult. I don't have any risk, and I'm just attacking his king.
3 more rounds to go. No rest actually. All the tough opponents. How do you recover after such a stressful game? And this cruel time format.
Yeah, just try to relax after a game. And just come back in a fresh mindset and try to fight in every game.
Wonderful win today, Pragg, and all the very best for the rest of the sequence.
Sorry, I have to play again very soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.